So Sachin, firstly, thank you so much for covering ZEISS. We've been doing well for the last few years, and big thank you to the optical community for supporting ZEISS to do well. Like you said, look, there are many exciting launches for the optical expo. The key one is the ZEISS Visustar Go. Maybe we take a step back just to understand how is the consumer needs evolving in this time. Right? So the consumer needs are constantly evolving. But for me, there are three things that really stand out, right? The first one is that the consumer is now more involved in this category, right? We've done some internal surveys as well. And what we see is that consumers now need more information. The second one is that from a technology standpoint, consumers are looking at technology as an aid, right? And the third one is because they're buying multiple categories, I think they like their experience to be more seamless, right? And I know that our optical partners are constantly looking for solutions, right, that will help them engage with this kind of consumer. So what you saw there, and if you look at the entire setup, right, it's an iPad-based solution, and there's a kiosk that is there. Now it can serve multiple purposes, right? So imagine a consumer comes into an optical store and is waiting. So that section can offer the consumer a chance to browse different frames. So you have a lot of different frames on the platform. And then you can create an avatar of the consumer, and using AI, the right frame can be recommended to the consumer, right? So that becomes a good start to the entire journey, right? And then this can be used for virtual centration, and consumers can also access frames from their homes as well. So I think looking at the consumer of today, this becomes a good, meaningful addition to our optical partners to engage with this consumer better. So that's what we are trying to do with this device.
You have just recently started doing frames as a category, and you've got one of the most famous Danish brand made in Japan, complete titanium, ORGREEN. So I want to know more about ORGREEN and how ORGREEN fits into ZEISS.
This actually is a step. So what we've done is we've entered into a partnership with ORGREEN, and we are making their frames now available to the consumer. Like you said, the frames are aesthetically very pleasing, minimalistic. So they're a Denmark-based company, and their frames are handcrafted in Japan, right? So very good quality, nice frames. So what we are trying to do, and why are we doing this, is because we would like to offer our customers with something unique, right, which will appeal to their consumers. Now the question that you asked is why are we doing this and what is the value that we add? I think this is a chance to bring very good synergies the partnership brings in, because if you look at it, ZEISS with the lenses and the technology and with these frames, I think the combination of these three coming together can help us unlock an experience to the consumers like they've never experienced before. Is I mentioned about the ZEISS Visustar Go and the frame platform. So we now have the ORGREEN frames, a part of it already on our platform. So think of it in terms of what it unlocks for our customers, right, and consumers. So consumers can look at ORGREEN inventory that's sitting with our optical partners, but they have access to a lot more, right? They can actually look at the virtual inventory and pick a different color or maybe a different style itself, right, which we have then an agreement with ORGREEN to be able to fulfill it. Right? So we are trying to see what these synergies can create, and that's why we think that this partnership will be a good one going forward, and hopefully we can add a lot more value to our customers.
And how many are there in pipeline? I think you can tell it better.
So we now have more than 20 ZEISS Vision centers that are live, and there are some more in the pipeline. I think what is showing to us is that there is a lot of interest from our optical partners on this concept, right? Just to give you a brief about how this works is that we have a very interesting concept where, of course, it is a store that is owned by our optical partner, but what we do is we enable the optical partner to be able to create differentiation for the consumers. Now, how does that differentiation happen? So if you've seen the store, it looks very different, right? So this is an award-winning design, right, that we help the customer design. And then, of course, there is technology, there are great frames. But I think what really creates the magic here is the combination of the optical's dispensing skills and understanding of the consumer and how they are able to use all of this. And what we've seen is great consumer feedback on the concept, and our customers are also giving us very encouraging feedback on the concept overall. So I think this is working well, and we therefore hope to expand and do more as we go along.
Also, just out of curiosity, and since I keep track so much, I want to know from your side, like, do you think that, let's say, if someone opens a Mehta Optical and someone opens a ZEISS Vision Center by Mehta, does it add more value to the optician and also it drives additional traffic in the store?
So I think so, because look, I think we are living in an era of collaboration, and I think two brands coming together can deliver more versus a single brand, right? Which is, I feel that a ZEISS Vision Center by XYZ opticians is always a more meaningful concept, because to the consumer, then it is a trust of the ZEISS brand, and it is also the trust of the local hero, right? Which is the optician there. So I think that's a more powerful concept. I think we are also doing a lot more on strengthening the brand, right? We've been doing the Nobody Sees Like You campaign. We've had some focus cities. We've made investments to make the brand stronger, because we also want to create an asset, right, that helps the consumer also to be able to decide better and our customers to be able to sell better. So we are on that journey.